During the middle of the COVID crisis, I had a visit with one of my favorite doctors. And at the time, we really didn't know a lot about what was going on, but all we saw were the pictures on TV with all the deaths and all the different people that were dying and going into the hospital. So he made me promise him that I would not go into the hospital. And he made me repeat that to him several times, that I will not go into the hospital. So it dawned on me, why is he asking me to repeat that? And I didn't think about it until after I got home, and I realized that everybody that was a lot of the people that were dying were African Americans and people of color. That's all I saw on TV. But he was trying to be so politically correct without having to say, Gloria, your color, there's a lot of people, dying in the hospital. And I guess that was from the data that they were receiving that he couldn't put out. And so at the end of that, he talked about, I have this, there's this new nutrition, pre-diabetic nutrition class that's starting. He said, you want to be a part of it? And I said, yeah, because it also gave me, a chance to be social, to get out, because we were all stuck in. And so that's how I got started. And I am so glad, because that was like the most wonderful year, of learning about the right types of food, learning about the importance of movement, learning the importance of label reading, and just being healthy, and especially with the crisis that was going on, and particularly in the Black community, that I looked at, that I thought was important. So that's how I got here. And I'm so glad that I did.
Thank you, Gloria.
And
were you in person?
Yes. Okay. Oh yeah, I needed the in-person.
Yeah.
Can you
tell me a little about how the in-person and maybe the group support helped you throughout the program?
Yes. I think for myself, even before the pandemic, I was constantly going, I was seeing my friends, I was having a life like I'm sure all of us were. And to be just stuck at home with nothing to do or everything, I had to get out. And it was a way of my getting out and just having a social life. And I was so glad, because the group, my particular group,
Let's start from the group again.
Okay.
3, 2, go.
My particular group, we were so lively. I guess we all needed to see other people, and you just learned so much from each other. And that was the support that you got from each other. And even if you lost a pound this week, especially at the beginning, because it was once a week for 6 months. Once a week for 6 months. So I looked forward to that Thursday meeting with Jennifer, who was, my instructor. And it was fun. And just the support of having that group, even when you didn't do all the right things that you thought you were going to do in the booklet, or eat all the right foods. There were times when it's like, no, I want a burger. I want a terrible, terrible burger with everything on it. And but then you eat the burger, and then you go to the group. The next week you tell them that you ate the burger, and they, well, that's all right. You can have that awful burger. And so, it was just such an uplifting time with the group being in-house. I could never have done it on Zoom. I needed the human connection. So.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Buenos días. En esta mañana quisiera compartirles sobre el programa que tiene Holy Cross de prevención de diabetes. Hay un grupo que tiene varias coach, líderes que lo están informando a uno, animando. Sirve muchísimo de apoyo para que uno continúe adelante en ese programa, porque, por ejemplo, mi caso es que soy una persona muy difícil de que el peso baje. A veces no comía casi nada, pero sin embargo el peso seguía igual. O sea que cuando Valerie Fox me habló del programa, más que todo lo quise aceptar por el amor que ella me demostró, por la preocupación, porque estaba yo un poco enferma. Estaba a punto de tener un síndrome metabólico. Entonces, pues bueno, sí, me habló del programa y yo le dije, está bien, lo voy a pensar, porque primero que todo puse como el tiempo. Uno siempre pone el tiempo, no tengo tiempo. Va a ser difícil un año dedicado como a eso. No voy a poder de pronto por el tiempo, fue lo que yo le dije. Voy a mirar que el horario. Bueno, entonces pasó un tiempo y un día ella me llamó con un intérprete y me preguntó que cómo estaba, que yo le dije que yo estaba enferma, y dijo que qué había pasado con lo que me había comentado del programa de prediabetes. Entonces le dije, bueno, que estaba lista. Entonces dijo que me iba a escribir y a enviarme una persona que me iba a estar. Había un grupo de apoyo que íbamos a estar conectados cada 8 días. Bueno, me explicó un poco. Y ya entonces me contactaron para comenzar. Yo comencé, pero pues tenía muy pocas expectativas, porque yo he probado de muchas formas bajar de peso. Casi siempre se me sube el colesterol, los triglicéridos. Me dijeron que podía tener el hígado graso. También tenía el azúcar en sangre muy alto, o sea que iba como para una diabetes. Y pensé que en ese momento pensé que no, eso no, como que no me iba a ayudar mucho. Realmente lo hice por el amor y como como las ganas que ellas tenían que yo estuviera mejor, estuviera bien. Entonces, bueno, comenzamos. Al principio, como les cuento, fue como muy decir que no. Yo misma decía, no sé si podré lograr esto, porque había estado con nutricionista, en gimnasio, cambiando muchos alimentos, pero pues poco a poco me di dando cuenta, principalmente por la coach que tenía, como la líder que nos estaba guiando. Me di cuenta que era una persona muy, que ella no le importaba el momento que estuviera pasando o viviendo, siempre estaba ahí para nosotros. Ella estaba embarazada, entonces hasta que fue a nacer el bebé, el último día que dijo, voy a compartirles hoy, voy a dar la clase, les asesoramiento, y cuando termine me voy para la clínica a tener mi bebé. Entonces, pues eso a mí me motivó mucho, porque entendí que uno con, con
Disciplina.
disciplina y querer hacer las cosas, querer que hayan cambios, entonces uno lo puede lograr. Entonces, esa fue algo como para resaltar de esa persona que nos estaba dirigiendo. Que jamás ella estuvo tarde en una sesión o dijo, no puedo porque estoy enferma, porque me duele, porque estoy embarazada o porque voy a tener bebé. Pues nosotras, el grupo entero, pues estábamos admirados de que ella quiso dar la clase y ahí sí irse a tener su bebé. Entonces, eso pues a mí me dio fuerza para continuar. Motivación, porque vi que con disciplina las cosas se logran.
¿Y qué resultados viste en tu salud después o durante el programa?
Bueno, durante el programa empezaron a haber cambios, porque otra cosa que ya nos motivó mucho a no estar sedentarios, sino aunque sea a caminar, porque muchas veces uno dice no tengo el suficiente recurso para ir a un gimnasio o para tener un entrenador, pero entonces ella nos enseñó que caminando mínimo 150 minutos a la semana podríamos obtener grandes cambios. Entonces yo empecé a caminar 30 minutos diariamente y comencé a ver en mi estado anímico la diferencia, que es estar uno quieto, encerrado, a estar de pronto en un parque, en un lugar cercano a la casa o en el mismo conjunto, se podía caminar y ahí empezó también mi cambio.
¿Y los resultados médicos que querías compartir?
Bueno, los resultados médicos fueron, empezaron a monitorearme porque me pusieron medicina para la diabetes, para el colesterol. Entonces, el 4 de octubre ahorita del 2022, unos días antes me sacaron los exámenes nuevamente de sangre y el 4 de octubre tuve el control con la doctora que me está atendiendo. Entonces, ella me mostró en el computador, ella dijo, estaba asombrada de que el cambio había sido totalmente radical, que yo estaba con los niveles súper altos en todo y que ahorita estoy como con los niveles de colesterol, triglicéridos y azúcar en sangre totalmente normales, como si tuviera 20 años.
¿Y qué le dirías a alguien que le gustaría comenzar el programa y que está dudando en hacerlo?
Pues que lo que pasa es que uno siempre duda de los resultados, de que consejos como tan sencillos, de pronto uno puede pensar que son sencillos, pero son pequeños cambios que uno puede hacer a diario y a lo largo de un tiempo, pero es que no ha sido tanto. Más o menos en 10 meses yo vi el cambio total. Yo bajé 22 libras de peso y 2 tallas, hasta el momento he bajado 2 tallas de ropa y me siento totalmente diferente al caminar, al sentarme, al acostarme, al hacer mis cosas cotidianas. Me siento como si me hubiera quitado unos 20 años de encima y me siento re bien, estoy feliz. Y claro que sí le recomendaría a una persona. Durante el programa yo escuchaba a mis compañeros y comparaba con las personas que quieren hacer las cosas y con otras personas que no. Porque porque dicen, sí. Porque dicen, no, yo ya no estoy comiendo tanta azúcar. Pero es que me compré por ejemplo, un endulzante, y mejor dicho, uno mismo no quiere como soltar eso que le está haciendo daño. Entonces, no, pues han habido, durante el programa hubieron retos que hay que superarlos. Hay momentos que uno cae, que uno sabe que ese alimento no lo debe consumir, que hay otras cosas, como nos enseñaron en el programa, que puede sustituir, pero los malos hábitos han durado tantos años en uno que uno no quiere soltarlos. Pero con disciplina y con querer tener cambios, querer hacer las cosas, se puede. Entonces, pues sí, yo los animaría muchísimo de que entren al programa, que bueno, no es nada mágico, no es de hoy a 8 días, porque uno quiere que en un mes ya las cosas sean diferentes, pero poco a poco, un paso a la vez, un día, y ir renunciando a lo que nos hace daño. Pues eso es lo que aprendí en el programa, más que todo. A estar firme, a no retroceder, más bien avanzar cada día. Y lo más valioso también, o una de las cosas valiosas del programa, es que hay una persona profesional, nutricionista, consejero, que lo anima a uno, que además, si uno necesita algo, puede llamar y decir, ayúdeme en esta situación que no puedo, y ella está ahí para escucharlo a uno.
I gotta switch batteries. Are we done?
Perfect. That's
Oh, was that?
Yeah.
I was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2019, and it was caught early, so it was stage 1, and I had partial mastectomy. And when I asked the doctor what was next for me, he said, you've got to lose weight, and you've got to lose weight now. You've got to exercise. You've got to get sufficient rest. You've got to have some kind of meditation or spirituality. And he listed maybe 6 things that I needed to do immediately to change my entire lifestyle. And it was a 360 for me. I was totally inactive before that. I was well into the 200 pounds, and at 5 feet tall, it was a lot of weight to carry. And I had no energy, no motivation to do anything, and it wasn't much of a life. So when I joined the DPP program, I've got good basic knowledge and steps into how to accomplish my goals, which I needed to chart. I had an action plan to follow. I had a goal chart. I developed my own food program based on what advice I got from a nutritionist concerning cancer-related foods and prevention. And I was off with Sammy on a whole new voyage, a whole new lifestyle plan. And this was in 2019, so it's been a long journey. 3 years later, I'm down 90 pounds, and I have more energy. I am healthier than I've probably ever been in my life. I exercise 5 days a week. I give myself a little bit of relaxation, a little bit of leeway on Saturdays and Sundays, but I go to a trainer 2 days a week at the gym 3 days a week on my own. And I'm there for about an hour to an hour and a half, so I get my 150 minutes in. And this has all been a process. It was not so good in the beginning. I was pretty stuck in my ways. I was pretty obstinate, but especially with the exercise. The food program kind of came along. I didn't follow all the advice that I was given in terms of charting and weighing and measuring and all that. But I developed a food program that I knew, foods I could tolerate, foods that were healthy for me. And basically, it's a plant-based program with some meat, fish, ground turkey, chicken, and healthy fats and oils. It's fairly regimented, but for me, it worked. And it took a long time. I didn't lose fast at all, and there were many months where I just plateaued and wasn't losing anything, was thoroughly discouraged. But Sammy was always there for encouragement, and I kept coming back. And the DPP program was a year long, so I had time to get my act together. And it was, I am a success story. I'm a miracle. I know that. I know that's what God had in store for me. And I regret partly that I waited so long to do this, to get a healthy lifestyle into my 70s. On the other hand, I'm hoping to look forward to a healthy future for whatever is left. And I think the hardest thing for me was the motivation, was the idea that I had to work at this harder, particularly the exercise. I was very reluctant to exercise. And I just thought the 2 days a week was sufficient, and of course it's not. But that was the hardest thing to incorporate. So, and my trainer at the gym was pretty relentless too. You have to make a commitment, you have to make a commitment. And when the measurements and the inches weren't going down so well, he said, well, you've got to work at it. You've got to really make it a priority. And that's probably the thing with this entire program, is it had to become a priority for me in every aspect. The food, the exercise, the sleep, the spirituality, everything that I did, I had to see that that was like number 1, 2, 3 on my list. And anything else was fine, but this was all important to me. And it has made a change. It's made, my numbers are really good. I go to the doctor at least twice a year, and the numbers are very good, and he's pleased, and of course I am too. The blood pressure, the cholesterol, the glucose, the A1C, all the numbers are really within the high density lipids and the low density lipids, and they're all just really normal numbers, and that's a first forever. I have diabetes throughout my family, and I considered myself pre-diabetic, and this has really reversed all of that. So I know now it's a question of maintenance, and it still has to remain important to me daily. And I think that was the hardest part for me, was the persistence, just plugging through, and it wasn't easy all the time. I really, really struggled. Some days I really struggled. Some days I really wanted to give up. Some days I didn't want to play the game of being an adult. And I didn't want to eat right, and I didn't want to do what I needed to do, and I stomped my feet and put my hands around my waist and going, I don't want to, but I did. And I think if I offer any kind of advice to anybody, it's just stick to it. Just keep working it, because it does work, and you will be successful, And yes, it takes time, and yes, it takes patience, and yes, it takes work. It takes a lot of work. And I did not find it easy, but I did find it, of course, worthwhile as everything improved and the numbers improved. And along with the weight, I lost, I think it's 50-something inches total. So I'm half the person that I was, and it feels so good. And that you cannot replace. That is something that having your health is, for me, number one. It just is more important than anything. And the rest just kind of follows in line. So I went through the program twice. I guess it was twice or three, I don't remember, but it's pretty consistent since. And even though the materials may be the same, I need to keep hearing it. I need the support. I need to be in touch with other people, because with the pandemic and everything, I was really isolating. And while I still lost weight in isolation, I wasn't necessarily making consistently good food choices. And I was lonely. I didn't have anybody around me. There was no support. So this program has helped with that. And the support has been wonderful. The lessons I need to keep learning, because I forget. I just somehow forget. And I need to hear it again. I need to be I need the reinforcement of the positive and the information that's given out in this program. And I need to keep hearing it. And it doesn't get old. It never gets old. I pick up something a little bit different each time, or I interpret it differently, or there's something else I can incorporate. And the men and ladies that were part of the program have come up with some really good ideas for eating alternatives, exercise alternatives, things they do that works from them. And it's always good to hear that positive reinforcement from others. And I really needed that. And it helped bring me out of the house, out of my shell. And I'm involved in so many more things now. And I'm just so grateful for this program, because it's just been a miracle worker.
Yes, so I was at my doctor's for my yearly physical checkup, and my lab work showed that I was just barely over the line into prediabetes. And also at the time, I had gained a lot of weight. I had just moved here from Maine with my husband. We were retired, and I had just lost my husband unexpectedly. And it was in the middle of COVID, and I was totally stressed out, and I'd been stress eating and gained a lot of weight. And while my doctor was not really concerned about the prediabetes because it was so small, she did think it was a good idea if I lost some weight. And I asked her if Holy Cross had any kind of a dietitian or nutritionist program. And she said, no, nothing like that, but there was a program for prediabetes, and would I be interested? And I said, yes, definitely. So she gave me the number to call, and I talked to Jennifer Sawyer. And Jennifer ended up being the person that I worked with in the program. And of course, because of it being COVID, we did it as a Zoom program rather than in person, which worked out very well for me, because obviously there was no interaction at that time anyway. But I like doing Zoom because it saves a lot of time. And thankfully, all of the people in my group, I think there were only about 6 of us, but everybody had a lot of personality. So we engaged with each other, we supported each other. It was really good. And I can't say enough about the program. Everything about it, the interaction, the support, the accountability, all of it. I'll skip right to my results first and then go back to talk about it again. I lost about 18 pounds. I'm no longer pre-diabetic. So medically, I've completed my goal. No more diabetes, pre-diabetes. For myself, I still want to lose about another 10 pounds, and I'll use the same tools that I used to reach my medical goal. And just everything, just the way it all comes together, tracking is critical, and being accountable is critical, and having somebody who really understands and who cares, being able to send Jennifer emails and questions, and then being with the group once a week. And then of course it fell to not quite as often over time, but looking forward to speaking with everybody once a week and checking in. And for me, I actually got addicted to tracking my exercise. I mean, every single night I do use my Fitbit, and I use it to track what I eat as well as my exercise. But I still am addicted to, oh boy, at the end of the day, I can count my steps, I do my heart rate, I look at what my peak heart rate was. I get way more than the recommended 150. I go to the gym, I do silver sneakers, but I also do kickboxing. And I love the fact that the 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds have to stop and rest. I do not, I push right through. And I do not feel like I'm 72 years old. And this program, if you're pre-diabetic, do it. If you have heart issues, do it. If you're overweight, if you just for your own health, just do it. Having the support, having the tools, having the action plans, just having people that you know who are going through the same kind of thing that you are, and they're there to support you, and they give you the tools and the support and I can't say enough good things about this. There's absolutely no reason not to do it. And even, I'm very fortunate because I got hooked on doing everything you're supposed to do. But if you don't worry about failing, even if you start doing it and, okay, so you mess up a little bit, and you don't worry about meeting the people once a week and having to say, gee, I had an apple pie yesterday, or, oh, I was really stressed out, so I ate some chocolates, and oh, I didn't get my exercise in. Nobody's judging you. There's no judgment in this program. Everybody has those stressful days or those days when they just don't feel like doing the exercise. This is a very, very, very supportive group, and they're going to help you. And I just can't say enough. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
About a year and a half ago, right before I started the program in April of 21, this is 22, yeah. I went to my doctor for my regular checkup, and she said, your blood work is not that great. You need to do something, and there's this program, and I believe you need to do it because I don't want you to become diabetic looking at your history. And my history is my father is over 90 years old, and he's diabetic, and he does very well keeping it off. My sisters are both diabetic, and when my doctor said you're pre-diabetic and it doesn't look good, you need to do something. So I decided to do something. She gave me the number, and somebody from the program called me. I think it was you, don't remember. And I said, I'll be there. But it was not to be there because pandemic, and it was on a Zoom. And Teresa is the coach, and she is magnificent. And we started the program, and they told us we had to lose 5 to 7% of our body weight. I've lost over 7% of my body weight. Actually, I was all over 10% at one point, but I've gained a few pounds back. But I'm still over 7%, and I'm trying to keep it and keep going. I realized that I did need to get back to exercising more, and because I live in an area with a pool, my husband and I started going to the pool when I got home from work, and I did a lot of laps. I would put it on my phone to time myself for 30 minutes of laps, and that helped a lot. And within the program, learning all the different things that are better to do. A lot of stuff I knew from being at Weight Watchers and different programs like that. It's just good to have it seen, and I keep a file on my computer with every piece of stuff that was sent. And I just changed the way we eat. We eat a lot of salad, we eat a lot of chicken, and most times it's cooked either in the oven or in a pan, and I had bought a new pan called Never Stick, so I don't have to use a lot of oil. And just saute chicken. We eat a lot of fish. And it was just a matter of changing the mindset and keeping going. And the biggest change I made was in the market, if I'm buying anything that's in a package, I read the label. Every salad dressing, every spaghetti sauce, I read labels. If it has more than 6 grams of sugar, I don't buy it. I found out that fat is better than sugar. So if it's a higher fat but lower sugar or 0 sugar, it's better for you, or should be, because you can burn off the fat, but the sugar just turns to even more fat. So I've been buying less sugary stuff, eating less sugary stuff. I only use sugar substitute in coffee, nothing in my tea. It's just a big change, and just trying to be healthier, and I think I've succeeded in being healthier. And it's all thanks to the program. I love the program, and in fact I want to actually continue if there's something more I can be on, that like once a month or something, just to reiterate everything. And it's wonderful to know Teresa. We keep in contact. If she comes to town, she came to town and we got together, and I got to see her and to say hello in person, so that was really nice. It's just, and the friends that I made in the program, like Glenn and Linda, who I work with, and I had given her the number so she could be in the program. I don't know, she's very stressed right now, but it's really nice, and I keep in contact with Glenn, so that's really good. And
The train's passing.
Well, was there any more that you want to share?
what was the other thing?
You kind of hit all of the things we talked about.
And we're
Yeah.
clear. We're clear now.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's a great program. I recommend it to everybody. I'm keeping my A1C down below diabetes level, so I don't become diabetic, and I want to make sure I never do.
You know, I got a question. Should she mention the program name? You know how she says she loves the program? Maybe she should say she loves the program name.
Sure, if you want to say you recommend the diabetes prevention
Oh.
program.
That would-
Yeah.
that would be better.
specifically.
Oh, okay. I highly
Wait a
recommend.
minute, let's end.
Oh.
3, 2, looking this way, and action.
I highly recommend the diabetes prevention program. It helped me, and it can help everyone else, because it's a fabulous program, and I love the way it levels. We did it for, I think, 16 weeks. We did 16 weeks every week, and then it leveled out to twice a month, and then to once a month. And I personally try not to miss any classes. Even when I was on vacation, I would sit in the hotel room with my phone and go on the Zoom so I didn't miss a class. It was that important. So I hope to everyone else who are thinking about the program, how important it is for your health. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. That was great.
You're awesome.
Because when I went to my doctor and I found that my AC1 is starting to creep up, it's like I need to do something about it. And I knew I wasn't motivated enough in order to do it on my own. So when they talked about this program, I thought it was a good way for me to get incorporated in a healthy lifestyle.
And so that's why I joined, and I'm very glad that I did. It really helped me to set some goals and realize the importance of getting healthy and staying healthy, exercising and eating right. And this is what this program has taught me. And Josette has been an absolutely wonderful coach. She is so motivating. She's always there to help you out. She gives you your email, call her at any time. She was just wonderful, so enthusiastic, and just really made you want to be in the program because she was always there. And it taught us a lot, how to shop in the grocery stores, going around the perimeter, because that's where the healthy foods are located. It taught us how to cook healthy meals. Always have colorful foods on your plate. And it really made you think about what you were putting into your body. And I was able to reduce my AC1 and lost weight, and I felt it's been a terrific program for me. I really appreciated all the efforts and everything that she put in, and getting to know the people on our Zoom calls every week was very helpful too.
Was there any hesitation that you had before you started the program?
Well, I was concerned, it's like it was a year-long commitment, and I was concerned that I don't know if I would be able to stick to a year-long program, but I really felt that it does take that long, in order to learn everything that you can to adopt these healthier habits, and the support and everything that you needed during this time in order to make permanent lifestyle changes was really needed.
Perfect. Is there anything else you want to share?
No, just thank you for this program, and thank you so much to Josette.
Can you say the name of the program and stuff like that?
Yes.
Say thank you for the diabetes prevention.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the Diabetes Prevention Program.
And we're going to do it chin down and 3, no, down. Down. Yeah, you got it. Looking this way.
Here.
Yeah, and
Okay.
3, 2.
It's the Diabetes Prevention Program.
No, do the whole thing. Yeah, I'm proud to be a part of the diabetes prevention
Okay.
program. 3.
Okay.
I say 3, 2, action.
I'm very proud to have been a participant in the National Diabetes Prevention Program.
You can say that one more just to get it. And keep your eyes over here.
Okay.
And 3, 2, action.
I've been very cut.
I know, you do it many times.
Do I say the National
You
Diabetes?
could say either one.
Okay.
Yeah, national or just diabetes, whichever one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
3, 2, action.
I've been very happy and
I know. Somebody does. The one you said, I was very proud to be a participant
okay.
in the diabetes prevention program.
Okay.
That was perfect. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Let's try that one.
All right.
So I was in the doctor's office, and he looked at my sugar levels and said, "It's time to put you on medication." And I didn't want to go on medication. So actually, I got a little depressed and actually put on a little bit more weight. And then I was introduced to the program. And I have 2 brothers that are both diabetics. My mother was a diabetic and took insulin 3 times a day, and I just didn't want that experience. So the program just fell right in front of me, and what really helped me is they weren't asking for any radical changes. They just wanted me to do things like move. It wasn't exercise. I mean, bowling counts as moving because I was standing up. And the idea is that I wasn't doing any kind of movement at all. And I just started moving, and then other small changes. Just don't even eat as much sugar. It wasn't no sugar. It was just start making some changes in the diet. And I started doing that. And over a period of time, I went back to the doctor, and he was happy because I had dropped some weight, And he was like, okay, if you keep doing what you're doing, we're not going to have to go on the medication. And that just kept motivating me. And within the program, it was a group thing. I wasn't doing this alone. I don't know how to cook. So a lot of the ladies in the program kind of helped me with basic recipes, simple things, like snack things of just getting some celery and using peanut butter, or not even peanut butter, much as like cashew butter. Just making small changes had really affected me a lot. And so I just built on each of the successes over the time period. And I did, and some remarkable things happened. I got into the movement to where I was walking. So I walk move about an hour every day. And that enabled me to drop over 30 pounds, and there's no more talk about medications for me. We still have to watch the blood sugars. I don't eat a great deal of sugar. Processed foods have been changed. But it was the process with the group that has enabled me to make these changes, that where I am today. And it is a great spot. I feel healthy, I have more energy, I'm sleeping better, I have fewer tension, stress, headaches from it, and I contribute it to this diabetes program of just making small changes. Nothing has ever been radical. Nothing has said, don't do this, you can't have this, you must do. And the group effort has really helped me out.
All right. So do you want to share maybe your recent experience with your brother?
Oh, sure. When I started taking care of this situation about 2.5 years ago, one of the people that motivated me was my brother, who was a diabetic. And he has had many health issues. And it turned out that he needed a kidney. So less than 3 weeks ago, I donated my kidney to my brother. When I started this program, I was not healthy enough, and I would have not cleared even the initial qualifications to be a donor. But over the period of time that I've been doing this, a couple years, I've gotten to the point where I was healthy enough that I could contribute. And I did. I'm doing well. I recovered very quickly because I showed up by just doing the simple walking on a regular basis, dropping 30 pounds. It took me less than a week to stop the pain medications, to get back home. My brother is progressing much slower. He's not as healthy as I was, but he's progressing, and to me that's a miracle. It was not where I started. I had no intention of any of that when I started. The idea was that I was going to get healthier so I could do things. My mother was refined to a wheelchair because of her health, and I didn't want that experience. I saw my brother limited because of his experience. So I was just taking care of myself, and then today this miracle has happened. And no regrets, and I'm glad I've done it. And my phone is ringing.
Thank you. Thank you, Glenn.
Is that it?
That's
Yeah, is there
it.
anything else that